was the craziest game I've ever been a part of.
When I look back at it now, it all seems a little bit surreal, as if we were watching it from the outside, watching a movie.
You look at the conditions, you look at the atmosphere, and then the way the game went. It was just crazy. And that entire game, it felt like an eternity.
It went into a pretty dramatic finish, and like in any sport, one team comes out on top.
You can't write a better script with how it went.
Well, it was cold to start, very cold.
The weather was spectacularly cold, so much that it was hard to imagine that we would really play a match on the field.
You know, when I look at those videos, I think it looked fat, but I have so many layers on.
The field was really icy, especially on one side. It was just, the whole box was just all ice.
I was like, you gotta be kidding me. We gotta play the biggest game in a lifetime, and we're gonna play it on this? I was like, oh.
I'm thinking if it's played during the season, the game's canceled. I remember my kicking being terrible because I wasn't able to get in a grip or my plant foot wasn't going in.
The league decided to change the format and let the team with the higher regular season point total host the match. And what we got was a home field advantage.
What an awesome sight that is. That is the cauldron.
I remember Real Salt Lake, dominating and scoring the first goal.
Samario!
When they scored, we weren't too worried that we were down, and we were all confident we were able to come back.
Susi, Colin! Equalizer!
Great goal, and we were back in the game.
What I sort of remember about that game is the misses, is the close calls, is the agony. Robbie Findlay, I feel like, probably had a shot at the near post from 2 feet away and wasn't able to put it in.
And it's turned towards goal by Findlay off the line.
I mean, instead of hitting the post and going in, it was hitting the post and going out.
Javier Morales! Oh!
When I saw that ball go by me, I was 100% sure it was a goal.
That title could have been won by multiple players on multiple occasions that night and wasn't by fractions.
Everyone on the edge of their seats here. Oh, what a save! Susi!
As a player, you would just like to end it on the field.
It's a good cross though, Samario! He scored! But it's offside, the flag is up.
I think both teams were exhausted, and sometimes you got to do a PK shootout to end the game.
It is going to require penalties to separate these two big rivals. All eyes on the men wearing the gloves now.
We huddled in together before the PKs. Told my teammates, no matter what's gonna happen, we win together and we lose together. There's no bad guys here.
I think we were sitting in a great position just from our experience. Myself, I thought, I was going in there really confident.
It was mentioned in the huddle before the penalty kick shootout that the players said, hey, we got the best goalkeeper in the league for penalty kicks, so we're all in a great place.
I think all of us thought Raimondo was going to win the title in the tiebreaker.
The day before, we looked at tape on where the shooters go, and you try to give yourself the advantage. You ask anybody around the league, around the world, it's the shooter that has the advantage.
The Argentine striker, can he get Kansas City off to the perfect start here?
I thought Wheeler was going to go hard to my right, which he did.
Biela against Raimondo. And Biela definitively.
But his approach, which I was studying, was a little bit longer, and the first time he did that, he went left, so I went left, and of course he went right.
First blood, Kansas City.
It's a huge mental game between the goalkeeper and the shooter and the crowd and the whole environment. There's a lot on the table here. It's an MLS Cup, so you want to get into their head and get them out of their comfort zone. And that's where I brought in the piece of paper.
Last-minute homework from Jimmy Nielsen.
If you're going up to a PK and the goalie's looking at this, like, yeah, okay, I got you. And there's going to be a little bit of doubt in your head.
This is Saborio against Nielsen, and he's missed!
When he missed the first PK, Saburi, I felt pretty comfortable that my little paper tactic worked. He has never gone through the middle before.
Nagamura sending Romano the wrong way and sending Sporting Kansas City 2 goals to the good.
Everything's going so fast. You know, you're trying to gather your thoughts, but next one guy's going, he's missing, and then the next guy, they're scoring, and then we miss again.
Wearing clarity is Ned Grabavoy. Desperately needs to score here to keep RSL in touch.
Their second PK. Boom. Nice save.
Thought it was over. Man, I think the whole stadium thought it was over.
I don't want to say done deal, but yeah, at that point you're feeling pretty good.
Absolute delirium there in the cauldron. They can almost touch it now.
I went up to Ned after and told him I'm going to save the next 2. Don't worry about it. Keep your head up. And sure enough, I saved 1.
Wiesler, saved by Romando. Hope still for RSL.
I was disappointed, but I still felt good. Again, we were still in control of the shootout. And you have Benny Feilhaber and Graham Zusi after me, 2 veteran guys. I knew they were going to bail me out.
I decided when it was my turn to go, I'm going to do what I was been practicing. I'm going down the middle.
Kyle Beckerman pretty much went down the middle. Jimmy Nielsen away to his left.
Then it's over like that.
I kind of knew where I was going to go. I don't think any of our players had put it in the middle up until then.
Feilhaber versus Romando! Jackpot for Benny Feilhaber!
A lot of my buddies and teammates asked, how scared were you when he kind of almost got his hand to it, and I kind of said it was so quick that I really didn't realize, I kicked it and it was in and it was over.
It's one of those ones, like all of them, where maybe I do the opposite of what I think at that last moment. I save it, and that was one especially that I thought I could have had.
It's a big goal from Benny Feilhaber.
And now João Plata has to score to keep RSL alive. Graham Zusi is stepping forward, and he will have the chance to win it for Sporting Kansas City.
I remember I'm walking away from the penalty spot with my back turned to Susie and Romando. I can just see the look in the eyes of the crowd. I'm looking out and they're praying. Everybody's praying, boom, 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 boom.
It was his moment. I was almost 100% sure that he was going to score.
This is it. We're champions.
I didn't even know they had a chance to win it. That's the thing. I'm so focused on the shooters and making the save.
Zusi has been so spectacular from set pieces. Now can he deliver from 12 yards and deliver a trophy for Sporting Kansas City? He can't! Would you believe it? He's put it over the top.
I believe Nicky actually guessed the right way.
I know he likes to go hard right. He stuck to his guns, and I think he knew that I was going that way. So he tried to hit it maybe a little harder and higher, and then obviously it went over.
It's one of those things you just hit a little high.
To see Kansas City blow that, and to see a player of Graham Zusi's caliber have the title on his foot and miss was a shock, and you start to wonder if RSL is destined.
As he's walking back, there's a little bit of doubt. You're thinking, okay, we might not win this thing.
Morales, their 5th PK.
Javier Morales has to score here to take it into sudden death.
After the PK, he ran directly into me with a little nasty comment about my paperwork. was quite funny.
I always, watch the goalkeepers, but I thought in that moment that I think his favorite side for him was the left one, so I went to the other side.
When he do that little stop in the end, that's where he got me.
Little stutter step, how cool was that?
He did an excellent job on that PK.
Once we hit the fifth shooter, we didn't have an order.
We give them the order for the first 5, but when it's past that, it kind of came down to what they were doing out there because we weren't allowed to put out a list past the 5.
We're deciding as we go. We're saying, all right, guys, if this goes 6, who's going to be 6th? The 6th guy goes, and we're scrambling again. Oh, who's 7th? Who's 7th? About the 7th or 8th one, we were like, okay, let's just figure this out now.
It's a tough spot to be in. At that time, it's sudden death, so there's probably even a little bit more pressure on those guys.
We all knew it was on the line. You got to score.
The press box is behind the benches, and across from us is the away section, the RSL fans. As Olam stepped up to kick, they all started singing Believe, the RSL anthem. For some reason, the Sporting fans were quiet at just that moment, and it was the only sound that I could hear. And it was sort of the one moment of the night where RSL had a home field advantage.
Olam for Kansas City. Oh, he's missed!
Olam missed the kick with the sound of those fans singing behind him, and I just thought there was something cosmic about that.
Despair for Lawrence Olam, delight for the travelling RSL fans who now have a chance to come back and win it.
It's moments like that, I think, that as a humble person, I think that you walk away from that I think you're going to remember for the rest of your life. It's about the fan support that does things like that comes across the country to a game like that, and it is as loud and supportive as they were.
When I knew it was my turn, I was very confident.
I'm thinking, we're about to win this thing. We're about to go crazy.
They haven't won yet. They need Sebastian Velasquez, a 22-year-old.
All the guys believed I was gonna make it. The guys were like, hey, we're about to be a champion after you shoot this.
I'm telling Sebastian, go win this game. Let's go. Let's get out of here. It's cold.
It went through your head that if he scores, it's over. But then you got to put that away. And the only thing I have in my mind is to stop that ball going into the goal.
I just looked down, got the ball. I didn't even look at the ref. I got the ball from the ref, put it down. I didn't breathe or anything. I just ran up and hit it.
Can he deliver the trophy for RSL? No, he can't! It goes on and on. Jimmy Nielsen to the rescue.
Huge relief, Oh.
I had the moment to win it. I had the opportunity to finish the game, but I let him down.
To see it miss, to see Nielsen save, it turned the narrative on its head again. The story kept changing.
After that, I said, okay, is this thing ever gonna end?
Now it's Chance Myers.
It's like it was like getting punched in the stomach, every 10 seconds for 20, 30 minutes.
It's intense. Heart's pumping. I can't even think right now.
At that point, you're just not sure what's going to happen. The thing has gone so long that none of us had ever experienced a shootout like that.
At this point, it's just going on forever, and you're holding your breath, and each time we shoot it, and you're hoping Nicky grabs one, and you knew that's what these things are for, is somebody's gonna miss.
Has been some pressure cooker situations here.
It was such a roller coaster. It was unbelievable.
A little nervous for sure. You got guys that don't really shoot maybe all season. It's defender time at this point.
You're trying to stay confident. You're familiar with how they take a penalty because you've seen them in practice.
Aurelian Colin has absolutely been useless in practice on PKs. If he had 15 PKs, he probably missed 14 of them.
That's not true. It's not that I'm bad. It's not that I'm good. It's just I didn't have experience. 90% of the time, I score.
We're always joking with him. You know, I hope Colin doesn't have to take one.
So he's walking up there, and I'm thinking to myself, I just please hit the goal. Just please hit the goal.
He stepped up there like he had taken 100 of them, and he put it in the corner. It was probably the best penalty of the night.
He goes up there and he just surprises everyone, you know, opens his foot up, puts it in the corner.
Nick knew where it went. He went to the right side. It was just hit with enough power and enough placement right next to the post.
The point is to control the stress. So you relax, you go, you do what you have to do.
Well, Lavelle Palmer is stepping forward.
For those guys, you just never really see a PK shootout go that long. So I think Lavelle's thinking, no way, I'm shooting.
It's like the whole team is looking after you. Your teammates, I mean, are hoping that you're gonna score and you're gonna do what you're supposed to do.
He stepped up, he ripped it. Yeah, it just didn't go in.
And the trophy belongs to Kansas City!
You know, when we didn't take our chance, when we had the shot to win, you know, the momentum definitely changed.
I was so appreciative of what they had given that season that for me, the fact that we lost the game on penalty kicks meant absolutely nothing.
And you guys are celebrating. Do you take a moment to feel for the guy?
No. I mean, you have to remind me who missed again.
I normally tell my teammates, if you want to fight for each other on the field, you can come very far. But if you want to die for each other on the field, you can win championships.